We delve into the heart of what truly matters, our families. Healthy families make healthy societies. I'm Randy.
And I'm Leslie. We're diving deep into the powerful insights of Dr. Randy's groundbreaking book, The Family Legacy: Shaping Culture from the Inside Out.
Hear inspiring stories and strategies to transform your family. We'll explore topics like communication, forgiveness, healing, parenting, marriage. We'll cover it all.
We'll have provoking conversations with experts, coaches, and real-life families who are benefiting from intentional family building.
This podcast isn't just about theories, it's about tools that you can implement today.
We all come from families, so this podcast is for you.
Join us on this incredible family journey. Subscribe now as we learn to do family as God designed.
Transforming families one episode at a time. Remember, whoever wins the family wins the culture in the end. Let's go. Hi there.
Hi there.
Welcome back, everybody, to Transforming Families with Randy and Leslie. This is Randy.
And this is Leslie.
Thought we'd mix it up a little bit today. Hey, today we're going to be having a conversation around what are we tolerating in our families? What are those things that we really want them to be different in our heart of hearts, but we're just too tired. We don't have the whatever it is that is causing us to tolerate our families where they're not what we know they can be and should be.
Yeah. And we want to be really thoughtful and sensitive today, because the reality is people are hurting. Families are hurting. Relationships are hurting. We see this only everywhere. And not that there isn't times when our families get along, but there is just an enormous amount of real pain. I mean, the most prescribed drugs in our culture, as I understand it, are antidepressants, right? Anti-anxieties.
Yeah.
And much of that pain is originated in our family and broken families, because there's a longing inside of every one of us for a healthy family. And but this question of toleration, what are you tolerating? It's really a powerful question. I know it might sound a little provocative, but there really is a pathway to healing and to growth and to freedom if we choose to stop tolerating. What do we mean by stopping tolerating? Well, we mean to tolerate means actually, if you look the word up, it means to suffer.
Yeah.
When we tolerate, we put up with something that is not the way it should be, or is not the way we want it to be. And in so doing, we suffer because we are, in essence, lowering the bar. We're saying, well, we should be loved. It should be safe in our home. It should be kind. It should be fun. It should be, we should be forgiving each other, and we should be loving each other, and and it's not. And so if I just take away all of those expectations, I lower the bar and don't expect anything great, and I set the bar there, then I won't suffer. Well, the truth is that's tolerating something, and we absolutely suffer.
Yeah. And this might be hard to hear, but the truth is tolerating is a choice.
It is.
And we get a benefit, or a perceived benefit, out of tolerating. Maybe it's an addiction in the family. Maybe it's just a behavior that just won't change. Maybe it's a financial situation. It's some relational dynamic. There's something in there. And at a deep level, we're actually choosing that. And the benefit might be, well, I don't have to take responsibility. I can be a victim to this. I am. Or maybe it's steeped in a lie.
Yeah.
That I don't have any power here. I don't have a choice here. I can't change these things in my family. And man, guys, that is a lie from the pit of hell. You have this amazing part of you that God gave to human beings, and it's called our will.
Yeah.
And it's our will that directs us. And our will either chooses to agree with this thinking that I can't and there is no hope, versus making the choice to agree with what God says about whatever it is that you've been tolerating, that there is a way. this is really important. We really, really want you guys to come away from this podcast today with hope.
Yeah. And that reminds me of the scripture that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And that's what tolerations is.
Yeah.
I'm putting up with, this distance, this separation between me and my spouse. We have nuclear topics. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about and because if we do, it's going to be a blow up. So we avoid that. What that does is it puts a false sense of peace into place.
Yeah.
But the truth is, the hope that we carry, we can't not carry it, is to get along and to be in love and to be connected. So that hope deferred by choosing to tolerate makes our hearts sick.
Yeah. And as this relates to kids, especially if our kids are starting to enter, their teens or their preteens, or they're running off to college. And we know a lot of families that are suffering right now around their kids' choices in life, whether that's around their identity or what they're choosing to do and get involved with. And sometimes we tolerate out of a place of fear. We don't want to drive them. There's separation. There's separation because their worldview is shifting from the one you thought you instilled in them when they were younger. And so instead of not tolerating it, looks like I'm going to continue to press in and maintain connection. But what we do is we end up suffering through separation out of fear that we don't want to cause more separation. And so we tolerate the way things are. And believe me, if you're a parent,
it's
painful. That is suffering. Seeing your kids separate from you, that's painful.
Yeah. And I want you to hear this. Choosing to tolerate a situation in your family that you don't like that's causing you pain guarantees that it traps you in that pain.
Yeah.
Wow. Your own choice to tolerate traps you in that pain. And so instead, there is a way to say, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. And it doesn't mean you slam your hand down and you make a demand, no more of this. That's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking about
that. What we are talking about is taking control of your own will and choosing to engage in the pain with God and his ways and to overcome them, to heal them. Because what happens is when we choose to tolerate and we're in pain, we avoid. Here's the word, we cope. Right? We have coping skills, distraction. We play video games, diversion. There's addiction. There's work. We cope. We distract our attention and our thinking away from the pain, what's going on that we don't like and want to change. And we keep ourselves distracted so that we don't have to address it. And somehow we figure out how to still, eat dinner together, or still figure out how to communicate what we need for clothes or school or whatever. But that is so far short of God's design for family. And so the first thing is it really takes some courage to stop tolerating the way things are, the distance, the separation, the pain. When you see your children making decisions that are going to hurt.
Yeah.
them.
And listen, when we're talking about courage, some of you, I can just already tell, some people are getting a picture of like a courageous warrior, and I'm going to go into battle around this. There's a time for battling, but remember that our battle is not flesh and blood. And so when we're talking about courage in this context, we're talking about having the courage to trust that God has the answer in the way to restore your family to a place of thriving in life. So don't hear courage from that place. So I'm just going to, this is the way it's going to be here. And there's going to be separation. That's not the courage we're talking about.
To overcome tolerations, the first step is acceptance.
Yeah.
We must accept that things are the way they are in this moment. And my choice is a part of whatever is going on in this moment.
Indeed.
And so if I can accept that, and then I can say, okay, Lord, this is what we have here, and I'm going to take it to him. Then the next step is to listen to him and begin to, well, if there is brokenness and unforgiveness, then God has a remedy for that. And so I will choose to follow God's prescription for asking forgiveness or taking responsibility or whatever his remedy is in the solution of that, instead of just leaving it lay, instead of avoiding it and thinking that time will heal all wounds.
Right. So
Doesn't.
there's the, what are the costs and benefits again of choosing to continue to tolerate or choosing to take a different step in a different direction. And there are benefits and there are costs.
I can blame other people.
Yeah.
That's a benefit. It's not my fault. I can't fix it. I can blame God. I can blame the devil.
I can blame school system. I can blame the church.
The problem with that is on the other side of the cost of that is I stay stuck.
Yeah.
The pain doesn't go away. It intensifies.
And what does it do? It causes further separation.
That's right. And I build more and more stories in my own thinking against the other people who I think are at fault. And more and more separation. So this is important. The first step is to get courageous enough to trust God and to accept what is. And then with him, say, okay, what's next, Father?
What's next?
If there's been, in families, there's abuse, there's betrayal. There is some of the worst kinds of pain in our families.
There's ignoring. Oh gosh, there's a painful one. You can't, it's like, well, my spouse doesn't hit me or my spouse doesn't yell at me, but wow, they
don't see me.
They don't see me. They basically ignore me. Or my kids, or if you're a kid in a family and maybe that's the way you feel around your parents, or that was your experience growing up.
Yeah. This is actually one of our coaching modules with a lot of people that we coach, not just around family, around life. Make a list of all the things you're tolerating.
Yeah.
How many of you are tolerating a filthy car? You hate that the car is filthy, but you just don't clean
tolerate
it up, right? How many of you are tolerating your kids' rooms being so dirty and so deep with clothes that and there's food in there somewhere and it stinks? I'm just being serious. Like, how many of us put up with things?
We're tolerating our lack of health, right? We're tolerating our weight, or we're tolerating our food choices. We're tolerating our income, back pain,
our income in some way.
We're tolerating a job we know is might be paying the bills. But I was just reading an article this morning on somebody that was working with the elderly to the point of, they're down to their last weeks in life. And one of the top things that these people say they regret was not pursuing their dream.
Not pursuing it. Oh my goodness.
Tolerating a job or a career, tolerating their families being it was tolerating and not being true to their design. In the secular, it could be, we say dreams. Well, I wanted to pursue dancing or playing an instrument or whatever it was. But in the kingdom, wow, this is tolerating not and regretting not being the son and the daughter, not fulfilling the story that God has already written for your life, guys, for your families. He's got a good story written for you.
And here's the lie. We think if we tolerate all these things, that the pain will go away and we will have a measure of relief. Yeah. And it's exactly the opposite. When we choose to tolerate things, our subconscious, our heart goes to work to solve them. So if you ever find yourself completely exhausted and just overwhelmed, one of the main causes for that exhaustion and overwhelm is the failure to address toleration.
Yeah, it's true.
Because we can't not try to fix it in our hearts and in our mind and our subconscious. We are working to change what we don't want.
Yeah, and we have a lot of tools around this. Again, our heart is to leave you guys with hope. I know there's a place in my life where I was tolerating my schedule. I had every minute of every day, 7 days a week, 365, filled with to-dos, and they were all important, or at least I believe they were all important.
Mhm.
And I could make an argument that they were important, but I learned a process in first identifying and accepting that most I was tolerating my schedule, that I had
You chose that.
I chose that schedule, and learned a process on how to how to make a decision, and to know what my core values were, and to reevaluate, and to take just a snapshot of what listen, a good business takes periodic inventories.
Yeah.
What's in the storehouse?
What's the state of things?
What's been sitting there for a while? What needs to be cleared out? What needs what, right? We do this with businesses, but how often do we do that with our schedules and our time? And what's going on in my life right now? And it's a regular inventory, by the way, right? This isn't a once and done. But I found myself in that place where I was just, my gosh, my schedule is out of control, and I'm exhausted. I'm hopeless. I don't see any way out of this. And so I'm just gonna, I'm gonna up those meds, and I'm just gonna, keep on going, because I'm a victim to my schedule.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have said those words out of my mouth, but the truth is that's really what was going on in my heart. I felt I was powerless to do something about it. And that's just another picture of what a toleration looks like. And in our families, if you find yourself, to Randy's point, you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't see any way out, you're just stuck.
Yeah.
There is a way.
There is a way. We have a saying that we kind of say, because sometimes we laugh at inappropriate situations, right? And the saying is, if I'm a victim, I'm the abuser. I chose that schedule, or I choose to tolerate, to put up with. I choose not to accept and to take action with God. And
action with God is the key here, by the way.
Yes, it is, not just random action. We're gonna go to an ad around our family school, because when we come back, we're gonna share just a little bit about the solutions that you can find if you find yourself resonating with what we're talking about. Like, wow, I didn't realize it, but I am tolerating. I want some things to be different. I want my family. If that's you, we're gonna come back and give just a few suggestions, and hopefully give you some hope today that, hey, you're not alone, and there is a way out of it. We'll be right back after this.
Are you tired of feeling disconnected from your spouse or children? Do you want to create a home filled with love, joy, and purpose? In this fast-paced, crazy world, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your family. The Family School is here to guide you on this incredible journey based on Dr. Randall Bixby's best-selling book, The Family Legacy: Shaping Culture from the Inside Out.
The Family School provided us with the tools and strategies to build a healthy family culture. It's amazing to experience the transformation.
The Family School is a game changer. Our communication has improved, along with our ability to forgive and stay connected. We now have a blueprint to raise our son and teach him how to lead his own family one day.
The support and community at the Family School are incredible. We're not alone in this journey.
Family School has impacted our family relationally by transforming how we interact with each other, improving our communication skills to create a safe environment for everyone to be open and fully themselves.
At the Family School, you'll discover biblical strategies, practical tools, and a supportive community that will empower your family to thrive.
Enroll in the Family School today and embark on a life-changing adventure. Through interactive classes, personalized coaching, and transformative resources, you'll learn practical techniques to heal, grow, and thrive as you build your family in God's design. Visit our website at www.thefamilyreformationproject.com. Start shaping your family's legacy now.
Join the Family School today. Learn to do family by design. Welcome back. Randy and Leslie here, Transforming Families. And we left before the break talking about tolerations, things that are just not the way that we want them to be. And our choices around suffering, continuing to suffer, being trapped in the pain, being stuck. And so we say, well, thanks, you've really left me in
Thanks, I feel great.
Puddle here. But here's the hope. When there's a toleration, the key is find a remedy and choose a remedy. There's a remedy for every toleration. In other words, if I am am done with the distance that's between me and my spouse or me and my child. We're not connected. We're angry at each other. There's unforgiveness. And I finally cannot avoid it anymore. The pain is too great. That's where I accept it. Wow, what I have right here is a lot of pain in a situation where all that's going on. And then it's to go to the Lord. And we have tools that we teach in our family school. This is what this is really about, is we are opening up a new cycle of our family school starting soon. You can look at the details down in the description under the podcast. And we teach tools to families. And some of those tools address this very issue, where it's time to take action. What action? Well, God's action. In other words, God has a remedy for being disconnected and having unforgiveness. It's called humility and forgiveness. But how do I do that step by step when
Practically.
it's really
How?
uncomfortable? Well, that's what the tool is. We have a love without hooks tool. It's all about loving without having expectations clamped in somebody, and being able to release and forgive and let go so
For
that
real.
we can enter into love.
How to
And,
listen.
and many more. How to listen, right? How to connect.
Mhm.
How to reestablish agreements that have been broken so we
Yeah.
can trust each other again.
Yeah.
How to heal when there's been deep wounds and words spoken that, the power of life and death is in the tongue, when death has been spoken. How do we cleanse that and disempower that and then empower words of life? There is a remedy for every item, every issue that you have chosen to tolerate. And if you'll choose to not tolerate it anymore and find a remedy, God's remedy, you can release yourself from that pain and be restored to your family.
Yeah.
And when we're restored, then we begin to heal and we begin to grow and we begin to thrive. The family school can walk you through that. Please go to our website, familyreformationproject.com. Go in and find the information there on the family school and join us for class. You will be glad you did. We haven't had anybody say, yeah, that was a waste of time.
No, not one person.
No, it actually is healing and transformative. Any last words?
No, just remember that whoever wins the family, guys,
Wins the culture in the end.
we'll see you next time.
See you next time. And that wraps up another inspiring episode of Transforming Families with Randy and Leslie. We hope that today's conversation has left you feeling empowered and equipped to take action.
Remember, transforming families begins with transforming ourselves. Let's be intentional, loving, and persevere. You're not alone. We're right here with you.
We believe Proverbs 24:3, wise people are builders. They build families, businesses, and communities. Through intelligence and insight, their enterprises are established and endure.
Thanks for joining us today. We encourage you to stay connected with us on social media, join our email list, and learn more about our resources and classes at the Family School by visiting thefamilyreformationproject.com.
Remember to subscribe, share with your loved ones, and spread the word about transforming families. We'll see you on our next episode. And remember, whoever wins the family wins the culture in the end.